How you guys doing today? My name is Romeo Boatswain, and today I will be going over real property. Specifically, we're going to be going over a deed. I want to do just a brief overview. So, property can be conveyed three ways. Either through a deed, which is the most common, through probate, and that's usually when someone passes away, or through adverse possession, which is another story in itself. But let's focus on the deed. So, usually a deed is conveyed through what we like to call closing. And closing happens usually between a grantor and a grantee, someone who's selling their house and someone who wants to purchase a house. The controlling document at this closing is the deed. So what is a deed? A deed is the passing of legal title from the grantor to the grantee. And you have to remember, the passing of legal title from seller to buyer, grantor to grantee, must be lawfully executed and delivered. But what does that mean? What is a lawful execution of a deed? What this really entails is that there's a few requirements. First, the deed has to be in writing, and this satisfies the statute of frauds. I'm not going to go into that right now. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But it has to satisfy the statute of frauds, so it has to be in writing. And usually, the first thing on the deed says, "I hereby grant blah 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 property to so and so." So, the next thing is the location of the land. The deed must have a description of the land. Now, description doesn't have to be a perfect description of a meet and bounds, but it needs to be unambiguous and provide a good lead to the location of the property. The next thing is the seller needs to tell what estate that they're conveying. And what I mean by that is it a fee simple, absolute? I don't want to really get into the meat and potatoes of this, but I just want to give you guys an overview of what is a deed and understand it. The next thing here is that there is a delivery requirement, and the delivery requirement could be satisfied when the grantor or the seller physically or manually transfers the deed to the grantee, which is the buyer. The standard for this delivery is usually just a legal standard, and they look at the grantor's present intent. Next, the deed usually has covenants of title. There's two covenants. There's a general warranty deed, and then there's a special warranty deed. There's also a third way you can convey is through a quick claim, which guarantees no warranties at all. And usually you want to record the deed with public record. Now, it is not necessary, but it does protect you against bona fide purchasers. So that's a quick overview of what a deed entails. Thank you.